Hey guys, Richard Oki here, and in this video I'm going to show you my process for spying on Clickbank campaigns using a spy tool. Okay, so right now I am inside of Adplexity. So Adplexity is a native, it's a spy tool, and you can use it for spying on push campaigns, native campaigns, e-com campaigns, and there's a few others. I can't remember them all right now, but it covers quite a lot of different traffic sources. Right now we're focused on native, so I'm inside of the native Adplexity tool. And we're going to continue the journey with the diabetes campaigns, and I'm going to show you, my process for finding ads using a spy tool such as Adplexity. And I'm going to walk you through how I find potentially winning campaigns for me to test. All right, and what I would say is, when you're using a spy tool, do not just copy and paste. Like, it's very tempting because you can just swipe the whole flow. However, it's best practice that you kind of like put your own flair onto the campaign, because what that does is that takes you from a newbie to a super affiliate, because super affiliates, we build out our own campaigns because that's where all the money is. If you know a campaign's been run at a certain level of scale, maybe that type of campaign went done well, however it could have burnt out the audience. So I'm always going to be capturing some sloppy seconds if I go ahead and run that campaign in that same placement or traffic source again. So best practice is that you do not just copy and paste. Use it for inspiration, all right, as opposed to just a copy and paste mechanism. So let me take a look here. Let's have a look. Right now my mouse is frozen. Let's see. All right, so inside of Adplexity right now, what I want to do is I want to show you my process for finding, a campaign that's like inside of this particular vertical. So the vertical obviously is diabetes, and the standard thing people are going to do is you're just going to go ahead and you're just going to put diabetes, right? Put in that search query and let's see what pops up. Okay, so you can see these are some of the ads. All right, cool. But as you can see, we're seeing all these ads have like one hit, which essentially means that they've only got one website visit. Therefore, I am not swiping a flow with one website visit, because that person obviously hasn't tested that enough for that to be worth me testing. I may as well not have spied on the campaign. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to update the ordering of your ads. All right, so let's have a look here. If you go into the search filter, so this is all the search criteria right here, so these filters over here. So what I could do is, I could update the days running. I could update this from newest to running longest, receive most traffic. I could do any of those changes, and I'm going to show you essentially the pros and cons of the different ones. All right, because when you have a spy tool, it's very easy for you to not actually make the most out of the spy tool, because there's so many buttons to play with, and it's very easy for you not to narrow down on what you should be doing. And when you're using a spy tool, I always like to have a good routine for my process of finding ads that have potential. All right, so the basics are, newest is, these are the newest ads, obviously. So these are the newest ads that Adplexity has found. And then there's also running longest. Now running longest, this is more around campaigns that have had the most length of time, so the longest duration. So they could have ran from maybe like January to like September. Those are the sort of campaigns that you're gonna find with the running longest, which you may think, okay, surely running longest, that must mean that it's profitable, it's making a lot of money. However, what you need to understand is that not all you know, not all campaigns inside of Adplexity are actually affiliates, all right? Even though majority are affiliates, some campaigns are actually brand campaigns. Now with brand campaign, we don't really want to run brand campaigns. And the reason why we don't want to run brand campaigns is because they are not necessarily built for profit. They're not doing traffic arbitrage in the sense that they're looking for the lowest CPC, most optimized funnel, and you know, trying to get the most return on that funnel. They are just focused on building out awareness. And if you're an affiliate, and if you're watching this as a newbie affiliate, most likely you don't have, you know, $1 million or $100,000 per week in budget for you to just build awareness. You need to make an ROI on your campaigns, and you want to squeeze that profit. So these are campaigns we do not want to be looking for, all right? So if you just put running longest and you just stick at that criteria, you most likely are just going to find a lot of branding campaigns, which we don't want to look for. Now, what I tend to like to do, there's 3 ways in which you can do these searches. It's also recommended by Adplexity tool too as well. You know, there's one where you focus on, you know, the newest sorting option and finding essentially fresh campaigns that have indicated that they have potential. All right, so these are campaigns most likely that you could copy and paste. These are the most likely that you could copy and paste. Not saying that this is what you should be doing, but these campaigns have the highest potential for you to do so. And what we need to do to find those campaigns is we need to go ahead and put days running anywhere between 7 and 10 as the minimum. So I'll just put like 8. I think 8 will be fine. And then we combine that with the newest sorting option. All right, so these are essentially the newest campaigns that I've ran for over a week. All right, which essentially to us, it indicates that, okay, these campaigns are fresh and the affiliates may have some potential with these campaigns. Otherwise, they would have switched these campaigns off after a couple of days. All right, so we can obviously scope these campaigns in cohesion with our keyword, which is diabetes, and now we can find fairly new campaigns inside of this particular you know, sub-vertical of CPA affiliate marketing. So I can go ahead and I can find all these different ads. As I can see here, these are, some of them aren't that relevant. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to update the keyword, not on the landing page. I'm just going to put the keyword in the ad info. Hopefully that brings out some better results. Okay, no results. Oh, okay, I think it's working. Nice. So we obviously, straight away we see, you know, the ads are now very targeted. We're seeing only ad images that are in our specific, obviously, market. What I can do to further segment it and further find, you know, campaigns that are, you know, Clickbank, what I can do here is I can put the Clickbank affiliate network, select that. So there's 233 ads. And this is what I was saying in my last video about all the eggs. You've seen all these eggs. There's a lot of eggs in this for diabetes. Okay, cool. So look, yeah. So these are essentially the fresh campaigns. They've been running for 8 days or more. But these are the newest campaigns that have essentially that are being run right now with native. That Adplexity was able to essentially swipe. Right, so you can have a strategy when you're using your spy tool of essentially starting off by finding, you know, maybe fresh ads, right? So you can test out maybe the fresh ads that maybe have higher risk, but if they work, you could potentially swipe some of the images and just run them because they have not, most likely have not been run that long, because these are the new ads. All right, so that's one way in which you can do this testing strategy. And I'm going to show you another way. All right, so another way in which you can utilize Adplexity for finding really good campaigns is we're gonna change this from newest and we're gonna change it to running, receive most traffic. And I'm gonna update the maximum, all right? I'm gonna update the maximum. I'm gonna move that to, let's say like 25 days. So you want anywhere between 20 and 30 days. That's the most ideal. But we're gonna put 25. And the reason why I have reduced that is because I'm now wiping out all of the branding campaigns. So all of the big companies that may be bidding on certain or have certain keywords in their ad copy, we're now removing those campaigns from the search, and we're just focusing on affiliates who have essentially spiked up their traffic significantly in a short amount of time. What does that indicate? That the campaign probably was doing well, all right? Because if you're running on native and you have a campaign doing well, you're going to double down on that placement, spend as much before anybody else finds out, and you're just going to rinse all the profits whilst you can. So this is essentially what we're doing right now. We're finding those campaigns. So as you can see, a lot more eggs. And you know, I could easily just go here and I can just swipe that image, right? So I could let that load up and then save that image, and that's mine now. All right, but the main thing here is that we want to use this for inspiration. We want to see what sort of things may be working well. All right, and we can then decide to run that for the particular offers that we are running. We can also look at the ad copy, so it's not just images. We can see what ad copies are being tested, and we can use this as, you know, certain tests for our different variations on our ads as well. And this is exactly what you can do. Now that caught my attention. I don't know what that is. It's like eggs. Is that eggs or is that corn? There's nothing to do with teaching you guys anything. I'm just curious about this particular image. I'm just gonna load it up. What is that? That is corn. Okay, that's a good image because that caught my attention. But as you can see, all of these images are probably making your eyes go everywhere. You're probably looking all around, and that's because these are quite good images. All right. So this is another type of search type that you can do inside of Adplexity to find you know, some good campaigns. And this is exactly what I do when it comes to spying for my campaigns that I run. Now, another way in which you can do this is you can actually remove the minimum. It's going to remove the minimum, and we're going to move this to anywhere between 20 and 40 days. So put this, but I'll put like 35. Let's see. I'm going to let that load up. And what else we're going to do? We're going to change this to running longest. Okay, awesome. So essentially, these campaigns that we find here, they've been running for a while, and the traffic is fairly stable. All right. So this also indicates that the affiliates that are running these campaigns have been running traffic for these offers for a while, and you know, the traffic has remained fairly stable. What does that indicate? That this campaign most likely is profitable. All right. So they probably don't want to tip it over a certain amount of traffic for whatever reason. All right. But the main thing here is that they have been running these campaigns, which are CPA affiliate campaigns, for a long period of time, which means that whatever placement, whatever targeting strategy that they have combined with these ad images and ad copy are doing really well for these affiliates. Otherwise, they will not be running these campaigns for so long. So this is another way in which you can find, you know, images, find ad copy that you can test. And these are the different types of you know, campaigns that I scope, because obviously you want to get the fresh campaigns. You want to find, you know, the potential prospective, you know, super campaigns when you do the newest. You also want to find campaigns that are, you know, affiliates have spent a lot of money on, because that indicates that, you know, there's money being made. Otherwise they're not buying traffic for those campaigns. And you want to combine everything together, because then when you combine everything together, you know, you have a good base for your test. All right. And what I would say is that use these images and use this ad copy for inspiration, but try to put your own spin on things, because it's your spin that will be the most magical thing in this whole process. And it's not saying that because you're a genius or anything. I definitely am not a genius, but it's because when you put your own angle on things, you come up with a fresh perspective, and that fresh perspective may be something new for the, you know, the end users, so the traffic. And if they see something new, something different that still drives them, still gives them a hook, that's where you see the highest, you know, ROI on those campaigns. Okay, so when I say don't copy, it's not because I'm just trying to be a good guy and like follow the rules, etc, etc. When I say don't copy, it's simply because when you copy and paste, you really limit yourself so much, because even if you do have a campaign that you copied and pasted and it's doing well, how long is that really going to last for? Because there's somebody else doing the exact same thing and they're spending a lot more than you, and they probably by that point have a pay bump with their advertiser or whatever that might be, but they have a big advantage compared to you. So if you're just copying and pasting, you're always going to be, you know, behind, right? And I personally, I want to win. I want to be at the forefront. I want to be the guy that, not people aren't copying me, but I want to be leading the charge as opposed to just copying, you know, what someone else is doing. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you guys like a full, kind of like, not a full analysis, but we're going to take a look at one of these ads. So we can see 46,465 hits across 337 days. Wow, am I reading the right stats? I don't even know what this stats. I'm not even exactly sure what the difference is between these two. But anyway, this affiliate is driving a good amount of traffic to this offer, put it like that. Let's have a look. And if this is your campaign, don't blame me, blame Adplexity. Apologies. But yeah, we can see like this affiliate has been driving traffic since February last year at decent volumes. Yeah. And then what this now does is that I can start to, if I see trends across the images and the ads that I find and the campaigns that I find, if I see trends in terms of like traffic networks that they're being run on, you know, placements in terms of like, you know, the different device types, is it desktop, is it mobile, is it particular like OS on the mobile, is it Android, is it iOS? I put all that data together across all the campaigns that I swipe. I find the trends between all of these campaigns, and then that kind of gives me my go-to when it comes to me going out and testing. Okay, and this is very simple. Anybody can do this. You can do this too, and you know, you can start making money with, you know, Clickbank, native ads if you want to do native. But this process is very straightforward. You just need to have a good structure, good discipline, and you know, you just got to keep going. You just got to keep trying. All right, let's have a look. Okay. So we can see that this affiliate is basically just doing a lot of damage on Rev content. They've done a little test on Ad Now, but I guess it didn't work for them. And this is what I was saying before, like if a campaign isn't doing well, most likely a good affiliate will start running that campaign after an average of like 2 to 4 days, all right? Maybe even in some cases 1 day. You just know the CPC is ridiculously high, you know, the conversion rate is just disgusting, so you'll just kill that campaign. But on average 2 to 4 days is the standard. So if you do that search method where you kind of go from 7 days for the newest, then you kind of know that, you know, these campaigns have potential, etc. But yeah, so like what the other thing I'll do here is I'd obviously open this up, check out the lander. To see what this guy's doing. Okay. So it's just standard lander. It's gonna say watch now or something. Yeah. Standard lander. You know, driving the watch now. And obviously what happens next is if I click, you know, watch now. Let's see if that opens up. Nah, he's using volume or something. Let's see. Yeah, volume. Because when I clicked watch now, I got that 400 bad requests, and that's because I didn't go through his campaign URL. If you use volume and you know how to track, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, there's another link where I can find the offer anyway, but I'm not going to find the offer right now. The main thing I want to show you here is that for Clickbank campaigns, the VSLs are super powerful. Because what is a VSL for a Clickbank campaign? The VSL is your online salesman, okay? They're your sales rep. We as marketers, we drive traffic. We're sending leads over to the sales rep. That's how you can look at it. Okay, so if you've got a background in sales like me, you understand that when you're working in sales, you need to have good leads that come through. And then you can, as long as you've got good sales skill and good technique, you can convert that sale into money, right? Now, with Clickbank and with these flows, what you're doing is you're generating all these leads, this traffic from your traffic source, whatever that might be, and you're sending that traffic over to the VSLs. And the VSLs, so these are the video sales letters, so the video landers, they are there to be the salesmen. They are selling the product, whatever it might be, and they're doing that work for you. All you need to do is provide them with good leads. And that's probably the easiest way of looking at things, all right? We generate the leads and we provide them to the salesman, and the salesman needs to convert those leads into revenue. And as long as those leads convert into revenue, we get paid. Simple as that. And that's typically just the process with Clickbank. But let me see if there's anything else that you guys need to see in terms of this part. I would say that's it right now. If there's anything that you want me to show you in terms of, like, obviously there's some things I can't show you, but if there's anything that you need help with in terms of like running Clickbank, if you're currently running Clickbank and you want to ask a specific question, drop that in the comments below. I will try to respond personally. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.